Jiggy the charger. As you go, broken fabric. Um, we've done it. We managed to get to the summit, and I wanted to share this thought with you. Whenever I left Palestine, it wasn't by choice, and the memory of that family sitting in Al Khalil Valley in the yard, surrounded by those terrorists with their jackboots and their machine guns, is seared into my mind. And I remember Abu Hammam just pottering about and tidying up after them as they destroyed his cameras and his property. He refused to sit for them. No, he said, fuck this is my home, this is my land. And he would not sit, and I loved that. But when I got home and got myself gathered up again, because I didn't get the chance to say goodbye, I sent a message to them via one of the coordinators, and I wanted just up here on Croagh, I wanted to share that with everybody, because I put a lot of thought and a lot of my soul into the message. So I said to the Palestinian people and the Abu Hammam family in particular, thank you. Thank you for your welcome, your kindness and your hospitality. But most of all, thank you for your example. Your faith, dignity, perseverance and strength are an inspiration, and I leave your land a changed man. When Ireland defeated the British in December 1921, they took their demonic black and tan terrorists from Ireland straight to Palestine. They treated your ancestors 1,000 times worse than they did mine. That fact alone created a bond between our two nations which has endured to this day and grows stronger. The bond I feel for your family will likewise endure, and I am sorry for the nature of our parting. But I promise you, I will try to recruit 100 more volunteers in my stead, and 100 for Una, and 100 for Mara, and 100 for Andy. Like you, my people suffered a genocide. My entire family line are genocide survivors. They tried to erase us and our language, yet here we are, and here is my language. Banach Legia gave blessings of Allah upon you. Choki Arla, our day will come. August Slán, my salamat. And that summed up exactly how I felt about that family, and about how they're going through what my ancestors went through. My ancestors lived not 2 miles from here on Loch Mask, and there are my Gibbons, and Gibbons is there to this day. They might have been lucky they left here in the 1830s or 1840s and they got up to Lurgan in County Armagh, and that might well have saved all of us from that fate that meant so many suffered. So that's what drives me on. They try to silence us by deporting us, but they try to silence the Palestinians as well. So there are millions and millions of us around the world, and we are amplifying the voice of the Palestinian people. So we speak for Anas and all the journalists that they have murdered, and we got to know them during the genocide. People like Croagh, who were just having a presence and reaching out to people around the world with their humanity and their dignity. They murdered them deliberately because they were being seen and were being a voice and were telling the story of what was going on, and murdered them. And we speak for people like Dr. Sophia, who's being tortured and locked in that prison. Who will ever forget the image of that man walking towards that tank amidst the rubble of Gaza? It's unbelievable. And they still have the audacity to torture and kill that man. They're trying to kill him. He's afraid he won't get out. We can't stop campaigning. and pray for all the medics that they've murdered and the paramedics that they've murdered. We speak for the people of Al Khalil, Hebron, that I met a fellow called Gandhi there, and he explained to me, he took us up onto the rooftop, but he was nervous. They have annexed a part of that city, and there's 40,000 Palestinians live. They can't have a car because the Zionists have put gates on. They can't get an ambulance because the ambulance can't get in. Women give birth at checkpoints and die. Men die of heart attacks because the Zionists won't let them through to go to the ambulances. And there are about only 500 settlers in that part of the city with 2,000 IOF terrorists guarding them. And when they call a curfew, they can call a curfew several times a year during Jewish holiday periods, sometimes lasting 8 days. And what shocked me was, and this sums the situation up, not only do those people have to stay in their homes for 8 days, they cannot go onto the rooftops and they can't be seen at the windows, because the Zionists will shoot them. And the reason being, they don't want their holidays ruined by having to see Palestinian people. How bad is that? I met a fella called Gandhi, and he told me, he showed us around, and he told us all of what's going on. It's an absolute travesty. And the activists that we meet along the road, I mean, there's just so many. There's millions and millions of us around the world, and we are amplifying the Palestinian voices that they're trying to silence until we can get rid of this cancer from the world. And I mean, the first Palestinian I met said, one of the first ones I met when I was out there said, "Oh, you're Irish, you're so good for us." And I made the mistake of saying, yeah, the Irish people are, but the Irish government aren't. And I explained about Shannon and the war bonds, and I could see the shock on his face, and I was embarrassed. And I vowed I would never tell them again. When they said about the Irish, I said, yeah, we're behind you. But our government, that government that's in power, Micheál Martin, you are an embarrassment. You don't represent the majority of the Irish people. Micheál Martin said, I'm a father, I know what's going on, I see what's going on, but I have to take everything into consideration. Irish jobs and the economy and the whole thing in the round. He said that in the Dáil. But I said to Micheál Martin, there's no but for the Abu Hamam family. There was no but for Mohammed and Hassan when they gunned them down in Palmagir village. There's no buts for the medics and the paramedics that were murdered. There should be no buts for us. The government denying visas to the students and the little hurlers. You won't check the flights going through Shannon. You won't even just check what's on them. You're selling the war bonds. And why don't you answer the question Richard White Bard asked you about the 75 Irish passport holders who have been out murdering children in Gaza? We want answers, and I hope the Irish people make this government pay for their collaboration with this genocide that's going on. They don't represent the Irish people. So that's it. We have to keep talking, keep walking, keep boycotting. We're on the march until the NSAC. We're coming for you. Your days are numbered, and the Palestinian people will be free, inshallah. See you on Palestine. Might see you along the road. Shalom.